Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to explain the anime named Platinum End, so let's start the video. The episode opens on a shot of statues of angels, zooming into the middle to show a drawing of a family. A voice narrates everyone is born with the goal of happiness, and everyone lives with the aim of attaining even greater happiness. We cut to a busy classroom of children who have just graduated. A boy named Mirai Kakahashi sits staring at his diploma, a cold look set upon his face. After school, Mirai goes to a convenience store where he grabs some melon bread. After changing his mind, he puts the melon bread down and walks out. Mirai is then seen standing atop a skyscraper. He proclaims that it is time for him to die and that he always tried to be happy. He says that he wanted to be happy before jumping off of the building. As he falls to his death, he is caught by an angel. The angel introduces herself as Nas. She explains that her job is to make him happy and that she prevented his death. Upon hearing this, Mirai begs her to let him die. Nas responds by explaining that she surprisingly knows many things about his past. His family's tragic accident at the age of 7, Mirai's abusive uncle and aunt. Nas then tells Mirai about how she's going to give him hope. When asked about how she would do that, she spreads out her wings. She says that they can be used to travel anywhere, giving him freedom. She then holds up her arms, showing red concentric rings around her wrists. A geometric shape appears on the palm on her hand, which she calls a red arrow. This arrow can make anyone struck by it fall in love with the caster. Nas gives Mirai a choice, wings or arrows. Despite initially thinking that it's a scam, Mirai demands that he get both of them. Nas agrees immediately, citing tradition as the reason why she asked him the question in the first place. She throws the rings onto his arms and neck. Mirai freaks out, but the angel assures him that they are invisible to normal people. Although, she does warn him that they cannot be removed. Mirai is then given time to practice flying. He finds this quite enjoyable, eventually crying tears of joy. He makes his way to a building with flags that contain green clovers. This reminds him of a memory where he gave a friend a similar green clover. While talking to Mirai, Nas drops a subtle hint about Mirai's uncle and aunt murdering people. When Mirai questions her further, he learns that the victims were his family. Mirai experiences flashbacks to his traumatic childhood and sees the years of neglect that he has had to face. To prove that it is not a lie, Nas suggests that they use the arrows. Mirai reaches his house and shoots Mirai with the red arrow. His aunt falls for him immediately, and answers all his questions. When she confirms that they did kill Mirai's family, Mirai's uncle walks in. While the two fight it out, Mirai has flashbacks to his family's death. Mirai falls to the ground and proclaims that his aunt and uncle should have been the ones to die. Upon hearing this, Mirai's aunt gets up and ends her life by stabbing herself. Mirai lays in a pool of blood as he thinks about his past. The drawing from the beginning of the episode is shown to be a drawing of Mirai's family drawn by Mirai. Mirai's mom asks him to live a happy life. 3 days later, Mirai sits in an hotel room. Nas complains that Mirai has not used his wings or arrow since he shot a hotel manager in order to get a room at the hotel. She also explains that Mirai's uncle thinks that Mirai's aunt took her own life. Mirai explains that he is looking for a more ordinary happiness, one that does not include theft or manipulation. Nas explains that he can kill for money, and Mirai objects to the idea as he does not want to see blood. Nas introduces the white arrow, which instantly kills the target. She explains that Mirai is a god candidate, one of the 13 people assigned an angel. He is now part of a competition to decide who will be the next god. God addresses a group of angels. He states that he has tried hard to the world better for humans, but now it is time for him relinquish his throne. The group of angels is revealed to be the 13 angels and that they are in charge of choosing god candidates. They also have the responsibility of guiding the god candidates. God states that they have 999 days left. Back at the motel, a bemused Mirai Kakahashi ponders the existence of god candidates. With a slight smile, he concludes that, if there's an angel standing in front of me, God must exist. Before Mirai can lose hope, Nas explains that becoming a god candidate would be Mirai's best course of action. She reasons that this would give him free access to the wings and arrow and would lead to greater happiness. Mirai considers that and retorts that he has no intention of becoming a god candidate. However, he agrees to become a god candidate so that he can turn his uncle into the police. Mirai turns on the TV and a news report about Tonma Rodriguez and his love life. Tonma confirms that he is dating 5 women simultaneously. Mirai notices that there's an angel looming above Tonma, suggesting he's a god candidate in possession of the red arrow. Mirai and Nas both come to the conclusion that the women have been hit by the red arrow. Mirai shows concern for the women and asks Nas if there's any way to defend from getting hit by a red arrow. Nas is shocked over the fact that she hasn't explained that to Mirai yet. She tells him about 3 rules. Wings are faster than the arrows and can be used to dodge arrows. The time limit for the effect of the arrow is 33 days and a person can only be hit by the arrow once. In a van in an empty parking lot, a naked Tanma sits as a dozen naked women fawn over him. The door opens and a person in a mechanical suit leans in. They extend their arm forward and launch a white arrow at Tanma. This kills and launches him out of the van. The man stands over the dead body and states that he only got a red arrow. The women, now released from the effects of the red arrow, run away in shock. The man in the mechanical suit watches over the scene disapprovingly. As Mirai is walking away from school the next day, he checks his phone to see a news report about Tanma's death. Luda returns Tanma's body, commenting on how interesting the candidate that killed him is as he does so. Nas, being her cheerful self, tries to unsuccessfully convince Mirai to cheer up as they go shopping for school. Eventually, they both walk onto the scene of a bank robbery. Things start to seem dire as the criminals barricade themselves in with hostages. Suddenly, the man in the mechanical suit appears from the sky. Some of the crowd remarks that he looks like the popular character, Metropoliman. Mirai sees that he has wings and comes to the conclusion that this is another god candidate. Metropoliman flies up and strikes the police officers with red arrows, compelling them to believe in him. He then walks up to one of the criminals and shoots them with a red arrow. He convinces them to turn themselves in but is stopped as another criminal shoots a gun at both of them. Metropoliman dodges but the first criminal is killed. Angered by this, Metropoliman flies at the second criminal and shoots him with a white arrow, killing him. While giving a statement to the press, after the confrontation, Metropoliman fakes innocence and pretends to not have meant to kill the criminals. Mirai and Nas doubt this. In a different room, an angel watches the broadcasting of this interview. He then declares a confrontation upon the remaining 11 candidates. Mirai, panicking, tells Nas to move away. Mirai slowly moves away from the crime scene. At Mirai's house, Mirai demands Nas to remove his arrows and wings so that he is no longer a god candidate. Nas says that she cannot do this as this will lead to Mirai's death. Mirai then asks her to explain the ranking system of angels. Nas explains that special rank gains red and white arrows as well as wings, first rank gain red arrows and wings and second rank gain wings or red arrows. She also explains that while only 3 special ranks probably exist, angels can get promoted or demoted in ranks. Mirai considers how much of a threat Metropoliman is before Nas reminds him that he has the school opening ceremony tomorrow. Mirai, although troubled at first, decides to attend school as he cannot pursue happiness cooped up inside a house. The next day, Nas teases Mirai about going to high school. She says that he only joined so that he can be close to his crush, Saki Hanakago. Mirai seems embarrassed at first but reiterates that he will not use the red arrow on her. When he reaches school, he is shocked to see an angel standing above the courtyard watching. Before he can get away, the angel moves up close to his face and stares at him. Thanks for watching the video. The next episode of this anime will be uploaded soon. Till then, make sure to subscribe.